Good day, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm really happy to see that our dear participants are joining us from different parts of the world. Thank you all for taking the time to be here with us today. It's my pleasure to introduce our trainer for this session, dear Nastaran Saif. Nastaran is an experienced English teacher and freelancer with a strong background in online education. She specializes in teaching pronunciation and creating interactive lessons for learners from diverse backgrounds. She is deeply passionate about innovative teaching methods, and her main focus is helping students build confidence and achieve their language goals. We're lucky to have her here with us. Before we begin, let me just review some ground rules with you. Please mute your microphones during the session to avoid background noise. You can use the chat box to share your comments. We will have a Q&A session at the end, so feel free to note down your questions and ask them at the end of the session. Without further ado, let's welcome Nastaran Saif to begin today's session. Nastaran, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear Fatima. Hello to you all. It's really good to be here. I'm honored. As dear Fatima said, I've been teaching for a while now, and my main focus is on teaching pronunciation. And the reason behind it is because, well, English is not also my first language, so I think it's one of the most important parts in order to become a better teacher and also a better English speaker. So I would like to begin. For anyone who's new or who wants to know more about me, also it's written here. I think we can wait for another minute to see if others are gonna join, or should we begin?
Let's begin.
Okay, we will begin, and if you had any questions during the session, I'd be happy if you keep your questions for 10 to 15 minutes before we end the session, and after all the explanation is done, I will definitely happily answer to all of your questions, okay? So, great. Let's begin. Is that we learn many different things in our teacher training courses when we want to become a teacher. But the thing that is less common to learn in those trainings is the focus on the private sessions. Well, this is what I'm going to cover in this webinar. The thing is, we all know how to handle the challenges in the group classes and how to make a connection between the students and stuff. But while we have one-on-one sessions, it's just us and the student, and it can become a little bit boring for the students. So we may face different challenges, and in this webinar today, we're going to learn a little bit more about the strategies that they can help us in order to handle those situations. So I will begin with the challenges we all can face. Sometimes our students are bored, and it doesn't need like any kind of reasons, for any reasons in their own personal lives, or for whatever we are working, like the material we're working, because especially they don't have anyone to engage with, to interact with, and it's only the teacher and the student. It can happen that they become bored or simply uninterested. And it doesn't matter if your student is actually a kid, a teenage, or an adult. The other things that I can mention, one of them is that your students wouldn't actually talk too much. Like when you ask them questions, they would just give you short answers. Some can have bad personal mood that day, and it can happen to both you and your students. And the other thing is that you as a teacher may not be prepared enough for that session. You may be tired, sick, new to teaching, or didn't have enough time to make a lesson plan, or simply you're not comfortable with making a lesson plan. And we definitely face technical problems like today we had one. But well, I just mentioned it to give you this tip that all the time try to make sure of your own part, like your internet connection, your laptop, or any kind of device that you join with to your classes, in order to make this problem less from your part at least. So let's move forward to the first problem and the strategy that we have. Well, again, as we talked, one of the first problems that we face is when your student is not in the mood, you're not in the mood, or your lesson plan is not working, or whatever it is. The strategy we have here is to build an idea bank. So what is the idea bank? In the next page, I will share a few ideas with you. But long story short, it's for those time that you don't have a lesson plan, or you are not satisfied with the lesson plan you already made, or I don't know, you're new to teaching, you're still not comfortable with making one. So to build an from different topics and activities, like again, I will share it with you later, but to give you an example, it would be like to have different topics so that all of a sudden, if for any reasons your other your talk about sports or learn more about sports. And it's not just simply sports, the different sports we have, the name of them and stuff. No, it's gonna go deeper. Like to know more about the sports they like, whether it's football, volleyball, basketball, or any kind of sports. And then, I don't know, for example, to talk about their favorite football player or their favorite football team. Um, the other thing that you can do is to use creative ideas. The creative ideas are those that are unique, and you cannot easily find them in any textbook, or even maybe on videos on YouTube, or wherever you actually prepare your material from. For example, one of the ideas is, um, let's say, inventions, and ask your students to create an invention that has never like that you cannot find it in the world. And you can also ask your students to help you to build this idea bank. They can share their ideas, their creativity. And after writing down some of your ideas and your student ideas, you can make a list and have it all the time with you when you go to the classes. So whenever you lack enough information, enough lesson plan, or whatever it is, you can simply go to the idea bank and use it. And make sure that you update your list, because sensitive. So you need to update it once in a while. To give you an idea about the idea bank, here are some examples for you. About the topic list that I gave you, as I already gave you the example, like sports, like technology, like musical instruments, solar system, famous people, special events, recent challenges, emoji story, and so on. The list can go um, a lot. You can complete the list later yourself. You can share your ideas. You can ask the students to give you the ideas. So it works the best. About the creative ideas that we can use: invent a festival that doesn't exist, create a new gadget or anything unique, retell a fairy tale or a myth, and new. These are the lists you can add to your idea bank. Now, due to the lack of time for today, unfortunately, I cannot ask you to start sharing your ideas, the topics that come to your mind, or creative ideas that you may think of right now, so we can talk about them. But it would be a good idea if any of you who is interested write down a few things that come to your mind and send it in the chat box so we can check it later. We can add it to the list, and maybe we can have the whole list for everyone updated later. Help. Ask your students to give lessons once in a while. It's correct that you're the teacher, but also they are learning from you. So once in a while, when you ask them to plan a mini lesson, it can actually be helpful for you whenever you're not prepared or you think that your plans are not working. And also your students would be more challenged and maybe even interested in being your teacher for even just a few minutes. And you can play a scene of a movie or read a half of a, I don't know, a paragraph from a book or an article or whatever, and ask them to continue it and end it in their own way. Or you can play, I don't know, you can actually start talking with mistakes and tell them to correct you as they are your teacher. And again, these lists of examples can go on and on and on. These are just examples for you to get the idea of what I mean to do. The other thing that you can do, the other strategy that we can use in our classes, private classes, is to use online materials, online resources. But in order to be able to use them, one of the first things that you need to do is to have some prepared in a file, in a folder, in a bookmark, whatever it is. So then when it comes to that time, to that moment that you, for any reason, don't want to continue with the things you've already planned, you have something to continue with. So one of the favorite things that I really like to do is to go over YouTube, different websites to find different materials, and to collect ideas for my classes. I already have a lot of bookmarks saved in my on my toolbar. So whenever I need, is my connection bad? So that's it can be videos, podcasts, articles, whatever you want, but it would be a good thing so you prepare some of them before going to the class. But also, it's not a bad idea if you get students' help. And let's say that one session out of nowhere, your student wants to talk about solar system. And then you already have some videos saved, but for that moment, you're not sure which one is the best option for that session, for that specific student. So you can simply share all those videos that you have, like let in my opinion, it's okay to share all the three videos with your students, play 1 minute of each, and ask them to choose which video did they make a better connection with, and then you continue using that video. And this is in the case that you choose to work with videos. But there is no problem in asking their opinion to help you choose the material. And also, again, like the other one, it's good to always update your list, whether it's a bookmark or if it's a folder of videos or podcasts, articles, whatever it is. So you know that you already have new topics, new ideas for old or same students. Also, it would be nice if in your free time you divide those folders or bookmarks into different topics. So whenever you wanted to work on that specific topic, you wouldn't need to go and search for the video in the same folder that it has maybe hundreds of videos in it. The videos I can actually suggest that you can use in the situation that you don't have a good lesson plan, or you want to just change topic or stick to the plan B for the reason that your plan A is not working. One of the and they simply sit, make a video call, start talking about a random topic, and then they expand that random topic. For example, while they're talking, they use a simple phrasal verb. And then for the next 15 to 20 minutes, they continue talking about that topic. So it can give you good idea, and also it can be helpful for your students, specifically those students that they have like intermediate level and maybe higher. The other thing that you can search is BBC Learning English. It has short news, short videos. They're super simple. They speak slowly, and they do not consist difficult contents. So it's a good idea to work on those videos in the situations that you need. And also on YouTube, you can find tons of different funny clips that you can play them for your students and ask them to simply describe what happened in the video. And last but not least is what we talked about, but we're going to go a little bit deeper into it here, is that when you're not prepared and the strategies that we can use. So we already talked about some that you can use different topics, idea bank, I don't know, videos, articles, podcasts, students help, whatever. But there are also more things for the times that specifically you as the teacher are not prepared. And the whole point of this session is to give you this assurance that it's okay if as a teacher, sometimes you are not prepared. I know we all learn in teacher training courses that you have to have your lesson plan prepared, you have to know what you want to do in your classes, and blah, blah, blah. And they're correct. Yes, I'm not denying them. But sometimes it happens to all of us, especially in the world that we all are living. It really happens that for any reasons, you're not okay. You're not prepared. So it's okay to just go to the class unprepared. But the things that I'm trying to tell you today is for those situations that you're not prepared and you are feeling a little bit bad about it. So the things that we're learning today are going to help you overcome those feelings. If you don't, like, let's say that tomorrow something like that happened to you. Well, you didn't have a time to make a lesson plan. You didn't have time to go through the idea bank that we talked. You didn't have time to find videos, anything. You don't have anything, but you also want to use these strategies. The thing is, you can simply go back to the last activity or the last topic and pass the ball to your students and ask your students to become the teacher and to explain to you about the last topic. And while you're working on the last topic that you worked on with your students, you can take out some points and start working on those simple ideas. Like, let's say that your last topic that you were learning with your student was about different countries in the world. So you can go deeper, ask your students to retell whatever they learned, like they are gonna teach you or they're hosting a show or whatever. And then out of learning about the countries, you can take out the topic of food, the topic of famous people, topic of, I don't know, most popular sport, and so on. And you can also ask your students to talk about their own interests. Okay, what was the last movie that you watched? Is this usually the kind of movie you watch, or you watch different genres of movies? So can you give me an idea about the movie you watched? Can you tell me more about what kind of movies you watch? And this is, again, just an example. It can be about anything that your students are interested in. You can ask them open questions and let them just talk. Open questions like, okay, well, I know that we talked about the things you did today, but is it something more that you want to share about your day? And if there are those kind of students that they give you short answers and they don't talk too much, you can start talking about your day. You can ask them to note down about whatever you're saying and then give a summary of whatever you said to challenge your understanding, challenge their listening, and to see if they're focused in the class or not. So this way, you weren't ready, but you turned the class into an I wouldn't say amazing one, but a good one. So also you can start conversation using those materials or using the things that I just said and get an idea for your next session. So let's say that let's stick with your students' interests. Well, your student talked about a movie they like, or I don't know, movie genre or whatever. Then you can take something out of it, and for the next 2 or 3 sessions, you can talk about them. And then you would have enough time for yourself to make the lesson plans that you want in your free time. So whatever they are saying and correct them later. And I will assure you that most of the time when you correct your students, there comes more questions and more grammar points, even those that you've already explained, but they come up again and again, and you can actually use those and talk about it. And also, one of the things that I wanted to mention, and I wrote it here, is that do not stop your students while they're talking. Never do that, unless it's something that is repeating so much and you need to stop them for just a second. But when you, especially having speaking classes, conversational based classes, when the students are talking, if you keep interrupting your students, after a while they will be either bored or like it will be on their nerve, to be honest. So they wouldn't want to continue talking to you, because you will give the idea that whenever I'm talking, I'm gonna talk with mistakes. Whenever I'm talking, my teacher is going to stop me, so then I'm gonna stop talking. You will take their confidence away from them. So the thing you can do is that when you have the conversational classes, when you have speaking classes, or even you have, I don't know, maybe grammar lessons, but then your students are using those grammar points to do some activities or anything like that, do not stop them, but always have a notebook and a pen or pencil prepared next to you, so you can write down their mistakes. Or sometimes maybe they don't even have a mistake, they don't make a mistake, but when they're speaking, it comes to your mind that there are some idioms, some phrasal verbs, some expressions, some vocabulary that they can simply replace in order to make their speaking level a little bit better. So write them down, and 15 minutes, 20 minutes before ending the sessions, point those mistakes, those replacements out, and start talking about them, and give them more feedbacks. And then for the next session, in order for them to um, actually uh, do not forget the things you said, you can ask them to do some exercises, like to use those corrections and write a story, to use those corrections, write, I don't know, some sentences, some an art, like write an article or whatever. It's up to you, definitely. So I'm sorry that I've been just talking, because we didn't have enough time and we needed to be a little bit fast in order to cover all the things. Now, I will be happy if anyone has any questions. They share their webcam and ask, or they can simply write in the chat box. But before that, let me just recap all the objectives that we talk about it, and then we can all first share our webcams, and dear Fateme will tell us what to do, and then I will be open for any questions. Okay, so in the whole session, we learned about the challenges in private classes specifically, and we learned some flexible strategies to solve those problems. We learned how to make a plan B, or creative ideas, in order to overcome those challenges in the moment. And I already gave you some ideas about the online contents that you can use and the way that you can find them or you can save them. And the last thing that is super important is to help your students keep their confidence high.
So sometimes these problems happen. Nastaran and John, we couldn't hear you because you were breaking up. We didn't hear the last few words. But right now, I would like to ask everyone to turn on their webcams so that we can have a screenshot all together in the same window. And later on, after we take the screenshot, our dear members can ask their questions. It was a very challenging topic. I think it was new. It kind of questioned the cliche. So as you mentioned, most of the time when we join webinars and training sessions, we learn about how to manage group classes. I would appreciate it if you keep your microphones muted. Yeah. So, but this one was new because it focused on one-to-one sessions, and always we hear that we have to have a lesson plan prepared, but we all know that in reality, sometimes things happen and we have to improvise the lesson. So it was, I think, an honest, innovative topic today we had together. So let's have a screenshot, and later on we can have our dear members' thoughts and comments and questions. So
Sure.
everybody say cheese and freeze for almost 1 minute. Cheese and freeze. So thank you so much. Now we have more than 10 minutes to hear your
Yes, we do have
yeah.
time.
So I'm sure people have questions. They might have some doubts. So feel free to talk about your opinions, please.
So the reason I just wanted to mention that I try to be a little bit fast to talk about this like the webinar and everything that I wanted to, because I was afraid that we may lack time, but I didn't know that it's gonna be done on time and even earlier. So one of the things I really wanted to do in the middle of the session, but I didn't do because of the thought of lacking time, was to ask everyone to share the times that they faced situations like this, especially in the private classes. Because, well, again, as I mentioned before, we mostly know things about the group classes, and it's easier to handle challenges. Some challenge. But with private sessions, you don't have anything else in the class other than yourself and your students. So if there is anyone who wants to share the similar situations that they didn't know what they want to do, if they learned something from today, or even maybe they did something that I didn't mention here, and we can add it to our knowledge today. So I'd be happy to hear anyone who wants to join.
Good evening, ma'am. I would like to ask you a
Hi.
question.
Sure.
This is Farah. So, when we are taking online classes in a group discussion, suppose we have a group discussion on any topic. So, similarly, what happens like two to three students, they just talk continuously. For example, if
Mhm.
A person is talking immediately, the second person jumps into it. It will be like a clumsy in the classroom. So, in that situation, what we need to do it, like as you said, like we should not stop them while they are speaking,
Mhm.
as well as they will get the lack of confidence.
So, well, the thing that we talked specifically in this webinar today was about the private sessions. Okay, like I tried to mention it multiple times that it's only like mostly about the private sessions. But yes, you're right. In group classes, sometimes managing how to handle the timing and the actually student talking time is gonna be challenging. So you have to go through these ideas that I gave you today and many other ideas that you can find in different contents on different websites and everything to see which one will work in your group classes.
Dear Nassam, would you please stop sharing the slides?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So anyone wants to share time that they faced something like that and they didn't know what to do?
I May I?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, when we are talking or when we are teaching in online in group session, we need to set the rule earlier. Okay, this is how we are going to proceed the lesson. Okay, nobody will start talking. Okay, everybody will raise hand. Everybody will wait for the turn. Because most of the time we are teaching or we are dealing online to adults, and I think so they are mature enough to understand the rules and regulation if they are set earlier in a very clear manner. But the instructions should be very clear, and rules should be set earlier for online classes.
Okay, yes, the thing that you're saying is correct to answer the other question, but not everyone has adult students, and not all students follow the rules. So you may have kids, teenagers, and these kind of situations happen. But yes, one of the most important things, I believe, is the rules that you set at the beginning of your classes.
I would like to share one most challenging phase which I always face this in my sessions. So basically, what happens when we go ahead like a debate, or as I discussed just now with you all, like about a group discussion. What happens like if there are like 10 students in my class? Okay, in my session there are 10 students. They will be waiting for the everyone will be waiting for their turn when I need to speak. If there is a good student, he is able to speak good. So continuously he'll be speaking like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So even as a trainer, we cannot stop them when they are trying to speak. But it shows the impact on others and it will affect as well.
Can I
So
give you an
what?
idea?
Yeah, please.
So you can set a timer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As my friend here, Farah, even she shared the same thing. They will
Mhm.
be raising their hand like we need to set all the rules and regulations, but everyone doesn't, they don't follow it. Even though we need to stop them. Chalo, the next, the person let her or him speak.
So that's why I'm saying set a timer and share it with your
Yeah.
students. Okay. So yeah, no, about the interruption, let me tell you something. About the interruption, I didn't mean that you shouldn't like stop your students from talking. Definitely, if your student is talking more than they should, you have to. But the thing about not breaking their confidence was that when your student is talking and they keep making mistakes, if you stop them every 3 seconds to tell them, okay, for example, instead of saying comfortable, they say comfortable. Okay. So if you keep stopping them to say, okay, no, wait, comfortable, no, comfortable. Again, the next 3 minutes in the next sentence, they repeat it again, and again, you stop them and you want to correct them. This doesn't work in classes. This breaks their confidence for speaking. But when you have like a discussion class, they're speaking, they're talking about something, yes, definitely you cannot stop, like you have to stop them sometimes. But if you share a timer, like let's say everyone has 3 minutes, and if the 3 minutes is done, ding, 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 everyone should stop. I think that also helps them.
And one more
Yeah.
thing I just want to add over here. In a very polite turn, you can say, "Okay, I understand. Oh, let's see, Farah. Let's discuss it with Farah. She may have some different point on this topic." Okay, in a very polite manner, you can divert their attention and you can give the chance to other one.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with Farah ma'am. We can always appreciate our students like, oh, very good point. I agree with you. Let's see what your friends has to say. Like that, we can turn.
Yes, that is a
We can
good idea.
motivate for others.
So thank you for the question and the answers and everyone joining. But again, I'd like to see if anyone wants to share, I don't know, an experience about a private session that they didn't have the lesson plan, they didn't know what to do. Maybe you were a new teacher, because let me give you this example. For me, at the beginning, when I first started teaching, I didn't like join any teacher training courses. I didn't know anything. I just started out of the blue. But then after a while, I started learning things myself. But for the first few classes that I had, I didn't know what the lesson planning is. I didn't know the challenges that I can handle, anything. So the things that I actually told you today are based on those experiences that I had to become the teacher that I am today. So that's why I want to know if anyone here had the same experience if you have anything to add, or I don't know, if maybe something comes to your mind, a challenge in a private session without having a lesson plan or something, and you still don't have any idea on how to control those situations, manage those situations, maybe I can help you, or maybe your friends have some ideas here.
Hello.
Hi.
Concerning one-to-one session, sometimes you can have a student who is shy because
Oh.
normally in groups they can work with a friend, they can have a dialogue, they can help each other. But when you have one student, sometimes it's difficult. Or if the student's shy, how can we encourage them to speak, to answer your questions? And I liked also the idea bank that you said. For example, you want them to improve their creativity. You want them to talk about an invention, but they are shy. How can we encourage them to talk in the session? Thank you.
I start doing it myself. And I try to make it interesting, encouraging. Like, I will share a few ideas of my own. I will share some pictures. I will go look for some videos about it. Or if it's just using the idea bank, I would tell them, okay, so have you ever had those situations that you dream about something? Like, what was the last dream you had while you slept? And they definitely give you some ideas, right? It doesn't matter how shy they are, but after a while they are going to give you at least one word. Okay, take that word and turn it into something. We can do a role play now. Like, I'm the teacher, you're the students. Do you want to do it together to see how we can
Dear Nastaran, you were breaking up. You were breaking up. So I guess you asked for volunteers to have a role play with you right now. Am I right?
yeah, is my sound okay now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I don't know why it's happening, because I made sure before the class that my connection doesn't have any problem. I don't know why it's happening right now. But yes, maybe dear Elham, who asked this question, can do the same role play with me. And we try to see how we can manage the situation.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So you imagine that you're that student who is shy, because I want to get the idea of what you mean by being shy and how they would answer you or react to whatever you say. Okay. So you are that student and I am you. Let's recreate it. Okay. Okay. So, what do you say today? We talk about something new. It's superhero.
I didn't catch the last word. Problem connection.
I guess she asked you about your favorite superhero. Yeah, but I guess she got disconnected.
Yes, she's going to come back.
Yeah. Let's wait for her to join us.
Okay. Yes. Here you are.
Hi.
You are
Can
muted.
you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, now, yes.
Okay. I went out to come again to see if the connection and everything is fixed. Is it okay?
Now, yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Do you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk. Who is your favorite superhero?
Mm, superhero. Let's say mothers are superheroes.
Superhero.
A mother.
Your mother. Oh, that's awesome. So, why do you think your mother is your superhero?
The roles, the multitasking that they do in our lives.
Okay, so if you want to find someone similar in the superhero world with your mom, who that would be? The Wonder Woman, the Batman, the Superman, who?
Superpowers, maybe Superman, Superwoman.
Superwoman. Okay, can you share with me more about Superwoman? What are her strengths? I don't know anything about her.
About her strength. Mm.
Can you tell me what does she look like?
She is there whenever you need them.
Okay.
Whenever there is danger, she is there to help you.
Mhm.
Mm,
So,
they are
what
really
color is her hair?
black,
It's black. Is it long or short?
long.
Okay, so she has long black hair. She must be beautiful. So, what about her eyes? Are they big or small?
Big eyes,
Uh-huh. So, can you make it in a complete sentence?
like a student. She has big brown eyes.
Big brown eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. I made it black. So big brown eyes. Okay, with a smile on her face.
Oh, yes, smile, of course.
Okay, a big smile. Okay, so can you continue describing her and her superpowers? So I will draw it here for you.
Um, she loves me. She loves
Okay.
people. She loves to help people.
Oh, to have people around her, huh?
She sacrifices her time, her energy to make other people comfortable.
Mhm. So, okay, I'm sorry because we don't have time. But did you see how it works? You started
Thank
talking.
you. It's a beautiful example. I
Yeah,
didn't know how to 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 have the role of that student, but the idea of drawing is beautiful because even the students can see that you care about the idea, and
exactly.
whenever yeah, and you that dialogue that you had with me was beautiful. Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, sure. Because they feel counted when you do things like that. So, someone wanted to ask a question, but I don't see the question here.
Can I add something, ma'am?
Yes, definitely.
I was just listening to all this, and then this dialogue actually inspired me a lot because even I do a lot of one-on-one sessions, and I have faced similar situations where I was like, at certain times where was not prepared much. So even though I have just in that case, I have just got into the internet, found a video, or found some other material which can be used, but
Mhm.
never thought of this idea bank. So this is a great session actually. Learned a lot, and being thankful to you as well because this would actually help me in my sessions as well. So plus the last dialogue that you did with Ilham ma'am, that was also really nice. So thank you so much.
Sure, I'm really glad to hear that. That was the whole point.
Hello,
Hi.
this is Murat teacher from Oman. I'd like to talk about my superhero.
Hmm. Okay,
Uh,
sure.
and I would ask my students online or not online, doesn't matter. Um, I really don't like these enhanced superheroes or aliens. Okay,
Mhm.
there are two superheroes which stand out. One of them is Iron Man, the other is Batman. Well, Batman has some kind of vigilante style, so that's why I'm not into that one. But Iron Man, he's using technology and he's using his future vision and his heart, okay, his sincere emotions to save the people from many things, and also he's also an organizer, okay. And then I would ask my students to draw this. It could be on MS Teams website or in Google Meet, okay, which now we are in, for example. Yeah, and this is a really good opportunity for me to share my ideas. Thank you very much, Ms. Nastaran.
Okay, thank you, thank you. By the way, Iron Man is my favorite too.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Okay, but thank you for sharing. So this is also an example for a group session, as I don't know who mentioned it, I don't remember, but yes, if it was a group session and you had a few shy students who didn't know what to do, when you do something like that, it will inspire others to want to share their ideas, as like Murat did right now. Okay, so if there's anything else, yes, dear Fatima.
So thank you. I think we have reached the end of the session. Your session was different from many perspectives and aspects. First of all, as I said, it challenged the cliche. And normally we ask people to share their experience in the middle of the session, but I think now people felt more comfortable talking about their experiences once they have had the whole picture of your session. Thank you so much. I hope that...
Yes, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. There was something I wanted to mention that I forgot before anyone left the session. Well, as we were talking about a 10-hour course with Mr. Shakwat and dear Fatima, we thought that this topic that we talked about today has more potential to turn it into a 10-hour course. So here I'm just promoting it. If anyone was more interested in this session and they wanted to do these kind of role plays more and learn more about this topic, well, we're turning it into a 10-hour course, and I'm just announcing it. So if anyone wanted to join after we completed all the materials and shared it with you, you can all join. Yes, dear Mr. Shakwat.
Dear Mr. Shakwat, you can take the floor.
Yeah, right. We are planning to launch a 10-hour course, and our first trainer is Nastaran, and we selected her as the first 10-hour course trainer. But the thing is that we cannot allow more than 10 participants in this training, for the first training, basically. For the next of the following trainings, I don't know what numbers we can take, but for the first training, we can take only 10. So I'm preferring the trainees who basically hold the bronze trainee badge. If they're reluctant to do, then we can take the trainees from the other, because you know that badges should be given the award, right? So this will be the awarded course for them. And thank you very much.
Okay. I just want to mention one last thing. According to the last message, is my connection good for the last like 10 minutes after I disconnected? Yes?
Yes.
For me, it was okay.
Okay. The problem, unfortunately, I just saw it. I was connected to another Wi-Fi. So that other Wi-Fi was lower speed, and it happened after the change in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the session. I don't know how it happened, but I'm so sorry for it. And I do know that one of the first important things in online classes is definitely the connection. So I will make sure for the next session for the courses that I will be connected to this Wi-Fi, because I honestly paid a lot for this one to have a stable connection. So yeah, that's it. It was really great being here with you guys. If there was any more questions, I would be happy to answer them in the group if anything was left. And that's it.
Thank you so much once
Sure.
again. So, dear members, I just want to emphasize that if you are willing to take part in 10-hour courses held by our dear professional trainers here, you have to take part in our webinars, at least 5 of them, so that you can be awarded a bronze badge. And then you are, let's say, validated to take part in the 10-hour sessions and courses. Thank you so much. I'm going to share a link with you in the core group so that if you're interested to receive your certificates, you fill in the form. There are 6 questions there. 2 of them are open-ended questions based on your ideas. That the questions just help you to have a reflection. There are 4 more multiple choice questions. Make sure that you answer at least 3 out of 4 correctly in order to receive your certificates. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. I hope I can see all of you soon in the next webinar we had ahead of us. Have fun. Bye.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.